Welcome back to Lost Legacies. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
So first off, Sam, today we got the trailer to the new Hawkeye show.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I like it. I dig it. I think it's going to be fun. Finally, a true Christmas Marvel project.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. That was very surprising.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta say, we've already talked about like how much we love like the Marvel TV stuff, and like these were all characters like I didn't really care about. You know, of course I liked Sam as the Red Falcon, and I love Bucky as Winter Soldier, but I was never really interested enough to give them their own thing. And then like Wanda and Vision was, you know, they're good, they're cute, but to give them a show. Loki never liked the whole trickster thing, but then like I was just blown away by all of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is just phenomenal writing. And again, like I couldn't give two craps about Hawkeye. You know, I like the character's cool, but they haven't really done much with him in the MCU that I could say was cool. And I'm not a big Jeremy Renner fan either, so I'm like, meh. But then after seeing the trailer, I was like, all right, let's check this out. Just thank God he got rid of that horrible haircut from Endgame. like it's like a faux hawk mullet type thing with an undercut. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of into that. I was like, okay, you tried something different. I get it. You lost your family. You're going through something. I get it. Yeah.
I mean, he had to learn how to cut his hair that way or find someone to cut his hair that way.
All of the good hairdressers got snapped up. Okay.
Yeah.
All that was left were, some questionable outlets.
What like the thing is though, like the undercut's really coming back, and the way, I don't know, just I've seen haircuts similar to that look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
His wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even like, oh, this is brand new, you know, when they were filming, it's like, no, it already felt like it was kind of on the end of that. Yeah. You know, everyone just loves shaving the sides and they just kind of having the top growing long. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. I just don't know. I want to know, like, I want to go behind the scenes of Jeremy Renner's hair.
From Endgame.
Yeah, what was the thinking behind this?
I mostly want to know what was up with that tattoo. That was a horrible tattoo that he had.
I don't even remember a tattoo.
Yeah, it was like all over his right arm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's edgy now.
Yeah, he's edgy now. Yeah. I kill people, but I only kill people of color in different countries because for some reason that'll
they're bad.
Help me process my pain of losing my family.
But here's the thing, like, in all fairness, we never really got to see much of that side of him, Ronin, you know? So he probably killed everyone. It doesn't matter what color they were. It just so happened in that movie we saw who he was fighting. Yeah, you know, they're people of color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they also mention it too, because like they mentioned in like the big meeting with Nat and Rhodey and Carol, they mentioned they found some bodies along the Mexican border or something like that. I'm like, okay, so he's killing cartel. Like, of course, the cartel is still around, you know, post snap, but you know, now we're gonna go kill those guys too. Like, I just kind of didn't understand. I didn't follow that tracking. Like, how does this make it better? Like,
it doesn't. He's just killing just to kill.
Yeah, and I'm like, but I don't understand that. Like, you know, like are there not still super villains out there that you could like go off and kill?
Yeah, it's kind of like that line from the Suicide Squad where who I guess it's Idris Elba, whatever, he's talking to John Cena, Peacemaker, where he's saying like, you just use peace as an excuse to do whatever the fuck you want. I was like, ooh, and like you could tell, like he even like that caught him for a second.
Yeah,
you know, I was like, ooh, snap. So yeah, well, now that we have King Shark in the DC movie, we need to bring in Jeffrey, the land shark.
Yes,
It's a Marvel
Jeff the
movie.
Shark.
Marvel, you gotta step it up, man.
Right? It's like, come on, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get the same production team who did Runaways, because they actually really did a fantastic job in the Runaways Hulu show.
Mm-hmm.
They did a really fantastic job with the Raptor, Old Lace.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like yeah, of course, like it was, you know, CG, but there was a lot of it that was like an animatronic. Like it's actually there. I'm like, I need that technology. I need the Baby Yoda technology. Combine it together and give me Jeff the Land Shark. Season 2 Hawkeye. I'm calling it. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. I'd be down for
We'll
that.
see. Yeah.
But today, unfortunately, we're not talking about land sharks, but we are talking about a really solid episode. Season 2, episode 17, Lockdown. After the hatch undergoes some kind of lockdown, Locke releases Henry in order to push the button. Meanwhile, Saeed finds Henry's balloon and his wife's supposed grave. Lockdown. It's just one of those cool. It's you know, it's like a pun, kind of like Sun's first episode was called House of the Rising Sun. You know, it's like ooh, wink, wink, get it? Love it, love it.
Can't wait till we get like the Jack of all trades.
You don't know Jack. Let me see. What could be another one?
Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, man. I guess you could do that.
What the wow? What is it? The invention of Hugo Cabaret.
Oh, there you go. I mean, it's not really puns.
Kind of a stretch, but you know,
we're just like using stuff with their name in it. But yeah.
Kate Winslet.
It's just an episode called Kate Winslet.
Nothing to do with Kate at all. The character Kate. It's just all about Kate Winslet, the actor.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So just surface thoughts. What are your feelings about this one?
Kind of like you said, solid episode. I thought everybody's performance was really good. Got some, you know, pretty solid storytelling. Just as a whole, you know, we're at that point now where it's like, oh yeah, like writers' room is firing on all cylinders. You know, like they got these characters down, the actors got their characters down. You know, we're just doing all that stuff. So yeah, like solid episode, but I think I don't know. I kind of feel like the same way about like Charlie's stuff, where it's like, okay, we got to move past like Charlie's backstory of like addiction, you know, like as a thing, like we got to move past that. We got to move past like Locke and his dad.
Yeah. So let's talk about the flashbacks here first. Because I mean, I feel like the same way, like it's kind of like the Sun episode. Out of Sun's flashbacks and out of John's flashbacks, these latest episodes have been the weakest. You know, there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with this episode as far as the flashbacks go. I thought it was an interesting story, and I do like how by using flashbacks, Lost is able to like jump us into like different locations and sometimes like different genres. You know, this one you kind of had like, I don't know, felt little Breaking Bad a little bit. You know, have to help my butthead dad get away with this money from what's his name? Jimmy Bain, the mob guy or something like that. You know, it just felt a little weird. Just felt a little weird for Lost. Like, oh, okay, all right. But that's I think that's one of Lost's strengths. Each week you don't know what the heck you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're saying, this episode, I mean, it didn't need to happen. These flashbacks didn't need to happen. They even show it in the recap. The way Locke's last episode ended, he had to choose between his butthead stepdad and Helen. And he chose Helen. Well, this episode's goes through, and it's the exact same thing, except he loses both.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's like, well, what? Like, I don't know. It has to do with they're trying to stretch it for sure. They're trying to make a 10 season series because of the studios.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I think I kind of feel like everyone's flashbacks are kind of just grasping right now
Mm-hmm.
because we've already told their story and we're like, okay, now we want to move forward, but we can't because we've locked ourselves into Lost being a flashback show.
Yeah.
Uh there was some good things though about the flashbacks. I loved all the acting. I love Katie Sagal again as Helen. It's always nice to have a good guest star on Lost.
Mm-hmm.
Did you recognize the client Locke is working for? He's checking out her house.
No,
The lady,
I didn't recognize her. I'm sorry. Like she did seem familiar. Wait, was that Nadia?
mm-hmm. It took me a second too because I was watching it. I'm like, she looks really familiar. But then when I heard the accent, I was like, this is Lost, an ABC show in the knots. I'm like, they're not just gonna have another Middle Eastern woman here and not have her connected to Saeed. I was like, that's Nadia. That's Nadia.
Oh my god, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely
Had
right.
nothing to do with the story. It was just a cool little Easter egg.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's cool. I mean, okay, I lie because it's not really an Easter egg, but it is like a clue or a hint because to
Mhm.
this day, we don't know what happened to her.
Yeah.
But now we know that she's in America somewhere.
Mhm.
We don't really know where Locke is.
Yeah, we really don't know. They've never said
They
anything.
they say, and this is the crazy thing because it's like the Charlie Day meme with all the conspiracy and all the papers, the conspiracy theorist episode.
Yeah.
That's what like every episode of Lost is because they mentioned in Hurley's episode last year that he owns a box company in wherever.
Mhm.
And we're meant to assume like, well, we know someone who works for a box company. There are no coincidences in Lost, right?
Mhm.
So wherever that is, that's where Locke is, Ohio or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but we don't know where he's at like right now in this part of his story.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what do we need to discuss anything else about the flashbacks?
It's just yeah, it's just it's weird because we've been shown on the island so many times that like Locke is this like very forward thinking, very, like strong person, who's like doing his own stuff. Like, oh yeah, I'm just, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing that thing, I'm going out, I can hunt, and do all that stuff. And I guess that's kind of the thing about the island is that it's, at least for Locke, more than anybody, has like opened him to the person he always wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
which I guess I can see is an interesting contrast between who he used to be, because he is kind of just like he's just a sad guy, like he keeps falling for the same con. His dad literally keeps conning him. I half expected Katie Sagal to come in through the door with the two gangster guys, like, or something, or like the dad, to kind of be like in league with the gangster guys, or something. But like, just the fact of what it is, it's just like Locke still is looking for that approval from his dad that he's never going to get. And I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There was no con in this episode. He wanted to do this.
I just feel like everything with that man is a con, So
right.
the fact
So
that
it
turned out okay, I was like, oh, well,
I was second
Locke,
guessing it
keep
too.
the money.
I was like, what's he doing? Like, what's the plan here? And it turns out, no, there was no con. But Locke even said he's not doing it for the money. He doesn't say why, but it's basically what he just said. Mm-hmm. He needs that approval from his father. Mm-hmm. I do like God, he's such a dick. But I do like how like cruel he is, because it's always kind of been hidden every time we've seen this guy, Anthony Cooper. But this one,
Mhm.
it's like, the gig's up. We already know who he is. He's not hiding it. And I just think it would be so easy to give this guy just a little something, a little bit of something to empathize with or whatever. And like the writers don't. They're like,
Yeah.
no. I'm like, oh, dude. But okay, so Locke walks away from this episode with 200 grand, but
No, I
no,
don't think he does. Because he chooses not to take the money.
well, yeah,
And then he walks out of the hotel, and then Case Segal leaves, and then his dad leaves. So either his dad took the other money, or
yeah. I mean, that's
I mean that's
that's
that's a
that's a
nitpicky
big
thing,
leap there. Like, I don't
but
know. Like, if that happened to me, damn well, I'm taking that money.
yeah.
I'm gonna go drink myself to death or something with $200,000 worth of booze.
Yeah.
Like,
Booze, alcohol.
only the finest like whiskey.
Top shelf, please.
But yeah, man, I don't know. It wasn't really needed. We didn't really learn anything new about Locke or anything. It was just sad,
Yeah.
you know. And I do think it could have worked if Locke had been honest with her, with Helen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If he had been honest with her, they could have made it away with that money and together, happily married. But he didn't. He lied.
Yep.
And that's a big thing on the show right now this season. Like, don't lie. Don't
Mm-hmm.
lie. Even Jack at the end, he's telling Kate, she's like, "Oh, it's been a while since I've taken a shower." He's like, the plumbing's not working, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And fat load of good that did, because Kate was there at the end anyway. So
Yeah. So that's it for the flashbacks. Let's talk about the the present.
yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this story?
Uh this was interesting, mostly because like I didn't know how it was gonna go with like the lockdown and
Yeah.
everything, going on. Uh oof, man, when Locke got his leg caught in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Man, that
That
was bad.
Yeah, that was bad. That sucked. That had to suck.
Yeah.
Um freaking Henry falling off the thing and then passing out for a couple of seconds. I'm like,
Just in time for the commercial break.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
And when he wakes up, he's like, how long was I out? Like, Henry, shut up. Stop being
Mhm.
so goddamn dramatic.
Mhm.
You fell like 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's because he's a classically trained actor. There you go.
yeah, I guess. Classically
But at least
trained to
now
be
we
a
can stop the
dick.
charade.
Yeah.
Because the whole twist at the end of the episode, after John basically, shook hands with the devil, he's like, yeah, I'll trust you. I got your back. You helped me with this. I hope you no matter what, blah, blah, blah. I trust you now. Saeed and rest of the homies come back with proof that Henry Gale is not Henry Gale.
Yeah. Henry Gale is actually in the grave that Saeed and the and everybody find. Actually, no, I'm going to take the retract. That Saeed and the homies find.
The homies find, yeah.
as you call them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just what did you think about that scene? It's like, to me, I was like, finally, yeah, now it's official.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
thank God, like finally, like if we had to go, I think even one more episode would have been too much. Like I was just I'm over this guy. Like Michael, then shout out to Michael Emerson, like great actor,
Yeah.
like really, really selling us on like this charade, but it's just that's all it is. And finally it's over. Like now we're gonna get some solid freaking answers, hopefully, or at least we're just gonna move forward from this plot point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool, like having everybody come into the hatch and seeing this guy at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least the balloon story was true, so we can
See,
we
that's
can
that's what made the story so good. Like Henry Gale was traveling on a balloon,
Mhm.
and he did crash land, and he
Mhm.
was from Minnesota, and like so all the facts were there. It didn't belong to this actual guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was pretty rad, pretty twisted, that's smart,
Mhm.
for someone who's gonna like infiltrate. There's a lot of Jack this episode.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, even though it was Locke's episode, there was a surprising amount of Jack in this one.
Just God, he's so cocky, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the guns. I'll get the guns. I'm like, oh man. And Sawyer just wants all these mangoes and fruit for some reason. But like it made sense as it went on because it had to do with like a reputation thing. He didn't want to lose in front of everyone more than he already had.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I thought it was good because the whole time I was like, what's Jack's play here? And I'm like, oh, he's going for the medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man. It was a very interesting episode. Still not really sure what triggered the lockdown. I'm assuming maybe it has to do with what they find out in the jungle at the end, which we could talk about in a little bit. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was just kind of weird, all these blast doors started crashing down and they're locked in. I was like, oh man. And then of course, when they try and open it, it smashes John's leg. And like, I don't know what you call that, like one of the
like the bars.
one of the bars you can tell locks in or whatever goes into Locke's leg.
Mm-hmm.
So that is that the lockdown, everything closing, or is it Locke being trapped under the door, or is it him on his knees trying to propose worst proposal ever to Helen?
Oh God, yeah.
And then she leaves and she drives off, and then Anthony drives off in the cab and he's just still there. That's the lockdown.
Damn it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, yeah, so like Locke heard like a transmission over like the intercom, heard something going off, and it heard somebody counting down. And then yeah, that triggered the doors to come down. But then we got something probably equally as interesting. So we're led to believe that Henry pushed the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like the countdown, like it feels like the timer like went off, like it stopped. Ooh, or hang on. I just had a theory. Because the doors have no, hang on. Because the lights don't turn off when they type in the numbers, right?
Right.
Yeah, everything just like it's just the timer that resets. So okay, just listeners, bear with me for a second, because essentially what happens is Locke, because he's pinned with the blast door, sees the lights flickering on and off in the room, and they shut off, but then they come back on in a black light, and the door that he's stuck under has all this weird, like, you want to talk about the Charlie Day, conspiracy theory meme,
Mm-hmm.
like that's like, this is kind of like the progenitor of that, where it's like it looks like a map of the hatch and a bunch of different stuff. There's like, is the Dharma symbol in the middle, or was it a question mark? I don't remember.
I think it might be both.
I think it might be both. There's a big chunk that says "I am here" in red, and one area, and yeah, just like a bunch of like scribbled notes like all over, and yeah, and it's only there, like it's there long enough for Locke to get a really good look at it, and we get the cool shot of like the image reflected in his eye, and I'm like, ooh, that's a really cool shot. And then the lights flicker back and everything's fine. Because what I was thinking was like, oh, what if this happens every time? But the lights, nothing else shuts off when they type in the numbers. It's just the clock resetting.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? What triggered it?
Well, we do know last time, like it gets super close to the wire, and like we heard the machine, like the machinery, we heard the gears, and then we saw like the little hieroglyphics pop up on the clock on the timer.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, I think it's less of a fact of like all this happened after the numbers got put in, and it's more that that's how long it took Henry to put in the numbers.
Mm.
But also, what was very odd and also a little telling was when Locke tells Henry the numbers, Henry memorizes it super quick.
Yeah.
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Got it. I was like, oh, that's suspicious for sure.
Yeah, that was super suspicious. Or as the kids say, sus.
But yes, I don't know. Maybe it took him that long to go through the vents and to type it in, because we were wondering that too. Like we were saying when that episode, when everything starts going crazy and we see the hieroglyphics, we were saying, okay, well, it didn't immediately blow up or anything, so let's time it. Or like, okay, we'll do it like 5 seconds, okay, 10 seconds, 15, just to see how long we can go. This might be that, maybe this, like, everything does stop and the lights turn on and stuff. Maybe that's part of it. But you do have to wonder though, because the blast doors have never come down before.
Yeah.
So the black light revealing the map doesn't have anything to do with,
it doesn't have anything to do with the numbers,
with the timer.
Yeah.
It's just that the door was down when the lights went off. I don't know. This is a crazy one. This is what we could think about this all day. I think we're just going to have to keep watching. But definitely drove the fandom into a tizzy, Sam. There were so many screenshots of this. What is this, like 2006?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, just it's wild. It's nuts. All even more theories start popping up. I think I don't even know if it is a map of the hatch, because it says you are here.
It says I am here.
Oh yeah. You are here. You are here. Restrooms here. Chick-fil-A's there. No, it says I am here. I'm like, I don't think he would really need a map of the hatch. From what we've seen, it doesn't seem too big.
Oh yeah.
So when I saw, like, I'm wondering if it's a map of the other hatches, because as of now we already know there's 2 more.
Oh yeah.
There's the one on the other side of the island that the tailies found, and then there's the medical one that Claire found that they had the Halloween party. Remember that? Yeah. I love how I say that like it actually happened. I know it did.
I know. I was like, I just agreed with it. And then in my head, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Oh, the costumes. Yeah, okay.
The costumes, but the cobwebs and stuff. It was just a few weeks ago.
Hey, those spiders, these island spiders, they're different. They're different.
That's true.
Although, to be fair, regular spiders spin webs like every day.
Yeah.
There was a spider web by my old apartment that, like, every day I would have to walk through it, and every day that web would be back. I'm like, well, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson?
Yeah. So what we were talking about earlier about this might have to do with what they find out in the jungle. What did they find, Sam?
They found a parachute filled with supplies. Kate sticks her hand in a tear. Something is already torn open this one particular side of the box, and she finds Dharma Initiative mac and cheese supper.
That's the best kind, man.
Oh, I know.
I feel like it's the kind where you have to, like, sprinkle the powder on it on top and then like
Yeah.
shove it in the microwave.
Yeah, it's just regular box mac and cheese. Shove it in the microwave. No. You put that baby on the stove. Well, probably since this is Dharma, since this is an island,
Yeah.
yeah, they probably have a
Yeah.
Dharma issued microwave. Yeah. Not
It's
me, baby. I
it's
put that
Easy
on the
Mac.
stove.
This is Easy Mac, my friend. You just gotta stir it up. It smells a little not right, and the taste isn't a little not right, but it's like, you know what?
Oh,
This is pretty good.
you got to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, some paprika and garlic powder.
Slice up some Dharma hot dogs, throw that in there.
Yes.
There you go.
Baby, we got ourselves a stew.
I don't know if you could. I don't know if that constitutes a stew. I mean,
it depends. It depends on your cheese ratio. Like how much cheese and milk are you
putting? I was
putting
gonna
in
say
this thing?
it's gonna depend on your liquid ratio.
Yeah,
Because the last thing you want is liquidy mac and cheese.
but it's super cheesy though.
But
Yeah.
but that's the thing. Like the cheese like absorbs the liquid. You know.
I mean,
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if mac and cheese and stew really go together. If we have any listeners out there with a good sense of taste in food, let us know. Hashtag Lost Legacies. Can you put mac and cheese in stew? I'm gonna say no.
All right. I'm just saying we're on a deserted island, desperate times, you know.
Well, apparently not, because they're getting refilled with food.
Oh yeah, that's true. So now we've answered a question, like, because like earlier episodes, the hatch was only stocked with about 3 months worth of food.
Yeah.
And there were two guys that were initially in the hatch. One of them been there for years. Well, Desmond's been there for about 3 years, you know, so who knows how long the other guy was there. So yeah, now we've answered that question.
So this brings up an interesting point, because one, we understand how they're getting resupplied, but two, this means that Dharma's still active.
Yeah.
This has been a very interesting kind of question we've had for a while. Like, okay, well, what's going on here? Because we talked about in the Claire episode, the others are using that hatch. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're Dharma or with Dharma. You know, so now we do know that Dharma is around. So this is the first time we've seen signs of life from them modern day.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is a fun episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only downside was the flashbacks. I wish it would have. And this is one of those, like, so much was happening on the island. Like, we didn't need flashbacks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, well, MVPs.
This one's tough.
Because look, I want to be fair. Like, I want to give it to Terry O'Quinn, but I've given it to Terry O'Quinn so many times, especially episodes that aren't his, but it's because he's given a really good performance. Yeah. This one, he's giving a good performance, but it's nothing really new. It's not like a new side of Locke or anything like that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give it to Katie Seagal.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's like you said, like a guest spot on Lost goes a long way. And to have a character actor like Katie Seagal come in, and it just adds so much, you know, it adds so much kind of nuance to the thing. And her role is so small, you know, within these things. Like, I'm presuming that this might be the last time we see her. Maybe not, you know, I'm hoping not. But just in the 2 episodes that she has been in, like, she's kind of, you know, she leaves a presence. And yeah, I like seeing her. I like how she like stands up for her and Locke. Jimmy Bain, you know, like I
Yeah.
like how she like stands up for that, you know, when Locke is very much just like, no, you know, like very, you know, feels like he's folding, you know, to just sort of save face. But she really is the one who like lets both Jimmy Bain and Anthony have it. Like he keeps running back to you know, so it's like, yeah, like that. Yeah. And just seeing the pain in her eyes when she sees Locke propose, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know,
one, he lied. Two, he shouldn't have proposed. He should have told her about the money.
yeah.
You know, I was doing this for us. I was doing this for $200,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he wasn't, you know, and in that respect, I guess Locke is honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too little too late. And, you know, seeing that pain in her eyes, because she really does, she cares about John. She loves John. Yeah. So
after this, she leaves brokenhearted and she goes to Southern California and starts frolicking with biker gangs, and she becomes the matriarch of the Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Locke.
Thanks, Locke.
Jeez.
You got a lot of people killed just because you wanted your dad's approval.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Grow up, Locke.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, Katie Seagal. I think she's really the only one who kind of stood out this episode. So it's going to be a one person MVP this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about predictions, Sam?
I predict we're gonna learn some new Hatch stuff next week, and I predict we're gonna get some sort of others tomfoolery. Shenanigans, you know, if you will. Yeah, that's all I got.
It's weird, right? Because like the first 8 episodes, man, it was rolling. We're steamrolling through the season, and it felt like okay, things are moving. And then we got to like the middle 8, and
yeah,
just things were happening, but it's very slow, very character driven. But even then, like, it's kind of what we're talking about, the flashbacks. Like, okay, we've seen this already. I don't know. It's just this weird buffer. And now that we're in like the back 8 episodes, it feels like, okay, we're getting more of like the myth. You know, we've been in this Hatch for this whole season. Now we're getting more, not answers, more mystery for sure. But it's like we're getting more. We're learning more. You know, if this is a video game and your map is all black, it's slowly starting to brighten up with more light. It's like we're exploring new areas, you know? So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how we go into these final episodes for the season. And you know, I can understand now why I remember season 2 being my least favorite. And I think it mostly had to do with pacing. Pacing and weird writing choices.
Yeah.
So I'm liking the season a lot more than I originally did, but as of right now, I still think season 1 was a stronger show. Well, I think it'll be interesting because I felt like season 1 had a really strong ending, especially those last couple of episodes dealing with the Hatch and Boone's death and stuff. So it's going to be really interesting going into this now with, I think, what is this, episode 17? So there's like, it depends how you count it, 6 or 7 episodes left of the season. Yeah, man. Here we go. All right. Well, that's it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And I hope you join us back next week for season 2, episode 18, Dave, in which Hurley begins to believe that the island is affecting him.
Ooh.
It's been a while since we had a Hurley-centric adventure. So
yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. As always, find us at #LostLegacies on the social medias. You can stalk me on Twitter at _Matt Jimenez, or Instagram at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Real, that's REEL, Texas Weirdo.
Cool. So Sam, until next time, get lost.